Welcome everyone to our podcast, Walk with Faith with Molly Faith. Please welcome our wonderful special guest, Timeca Davis. Hi, Timeca.
Hi, hi, you guys. Hi, Molly. My beautiful Molly.
Hi. Thank you
How
so
are
much.
you, hon? I feel like we're just gonna pick up where we left off in our conversation yesterday and today.
I know. I know. We've been having such amazing conversations. We have so much to talk about.
Oh
It's
my
been
gosh.
incredible.
Where I don't even know where to begin because we've touched on so many things that I feel um, beautifully bring home the spiritual journey. I think for a lot of people that just don't know how to articulate it, what to say, where to go, that is safe for them to say, okay, I'm having these thoughts, I'm having these feelings, I'm seeing these things, I'm having visions. There are a lot of people, just my son who works at a school, we talked about that, they're coming to him. And it's crazy how bright his light is that when they saw me and the different exchanges that they've had, he was like, well, yeah, my mom's highly spiritual. And immediately, well, I mean, is she a reader? And well, do you think she'd sit down with me? I was shocked. He was shocked. And he was like, she doesn't do it on that level. We struggled about it. And he was like, basically she doesn't do it outside of for herself or people close to us that may ask her. But she was, this particular feminine, she was very curious. And I read it so well. And I told my son, I said, she's going to come back. She's going to ask more pertinent questions. But, and he was like, okay, there's a but. When there's a but, I worry. I said, no, use your discernment. Because you have to remember the energy of these of monitoring spirits. And when they know you're connected to someone powerful,
Absolutely.
that they'll try to get information. And my son wasn't aware of that. And I saw it in his eyes that he probably was going to spill so much tea to this woman. And it's like she knew, she instantly connected to my energy the minute he said who I was spiritually. And that's what I was talking about yesterday, seeing things now with those spiritual eyes. Well, he's in that era too, but he's new. He's newer to it. So there are these nuances and things that I have to explain. Like, listen, you have to vet people. You can't just give them this information. Right. They're the monitoring spirits. And I had to start showing him, as my brother used to tell me, signs and symbols for the conscious mind. So pay attention to those signs and symbols or synchronicities that we spoke of before, because they'll tell you when that person
222 on the clock right now.
You see?
Stop.
They'll tell you the signs and things, and I can't make this up. I can't. I can't. For anyone that is hearing our voices, we can't make this up if we try. If you pay.
Oh wow!
But seriously, this is what I mean, and he said the same thing. Like, he'll be at work, but I saw 1111, and I keep seeing it. I said, oh, that's a powerful number to keep seeing, because I screenshot it. If it's on my phone, that's to let my angels, my team, my spirit team know I'm with you. I see you. I'm taking a snapshot of that. Right. And when I say every plate, the other day, my grandchildren now, there's 3333 on the back of that license plate. I said, that's wonderful. That's right. Wonderful. You're supposed to be looking for that, hon. And so they get excited now that they're learning about it. And on this journey so far, that's my thing, that innocence, that the purity of it. We all, I feel like, get back to that space when and you will tell me if you agree. When you get through the healing, when you do that work on all that trauma that we were just speaking of before you started actually recording, that you and I both went through the narcissistic abuse, the S word abuse, and I'm going to say that because I know YouTube and they are, so I'm going to try to keep this as PC as possible.
Thank you.
But yeah, for that kind of abuse, it's like something in you triggers the fight or flight, and you kind of go into this protective cocoon. And it's funny because I'm drawing the butterflies, which you'll see. I have a lot of, in some of those pictures you have and images of me, if people zoomed in on my hands, or sometimes I'm wearing around my neck, there's butterflies. I'm very much attuned to butterfly energy, and I have a butterfly ring I've had for like 20 years. And I have some other pieces, and I'm trying to acquire more. But it's just that the transformation.
It is.
And what it, the symbolicness, the symbolization of it. And it means something to me because I had to protect a part of that child, yes. my younger self, that it just got, like I said yesterday, I just got back to the point that I was able to retrieve her. And I dreamed it and I cried about it. It was me now taking the hand of my younger self out of that corner and saying, it's okay, I got you. We're good now.
Yep.
That was profoundly life-changing for me. And that just happened this year, Molly, it did. Where I was finally able to look at her and say, it's okay, I want to bring you into the light now. Because I hid her away. The dreams, the hopes, the aspirations as a kid. This life, Earth School, will beat you down if you're not ready for that.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not strong. And thankfully for me, even with my mom and what she had to endure, rest her soul, she was able to help me get there, even with the strained relationship we had at points in my life. Before her physical left, we were able to, I'm like, Mom, I'm going to make you proud. I promise you that. She was like, you already have. You've always been strong, and I need you. I got to go. I'm tired now. But that strength that you've always had is going to be needed. And here we are. I'm talking to you, and I can convey this message to whoever chooses to take what we have to give right now. On the eve of my mom's birthday, her 70th, as I told you, is this week.
Mm-hmm.
On the 9th.
Happy early birthday, heavenly birthday.
Heavenly birthday. I thank you so much for that, mm-hmm. because it's powerful. It's home for me because, excuse me, it took so long for me to make peace with all of it. With why, I had to go through those things growing up, why I felt alienated, feeling like the leper, ostracized. There were so many things. And I realized she didn't even know, like she was trying to work through her own traumas, what was handed down to her with mm-hmm. 7 children.
Right.
So it was like, okay, I get it now. And I talked to her the other day, and I just want you to know, I so get it now. And I thank you for everything that you did give me to be able to stand on my 2 feet and survive. You gave me survival tools. You gave me the best survival kit I could possibly have. When she opened me up to certain things herself spiritually. And the kindnesses that we have to pay, even when it's hard. And like I said, I had friends, people that were going through it with their families. My mom was not rich. She struggled. We watched her struggle with us. So when we got old enough, we got jobs so we could do what we could do to help her.
Yeah.
But she still open doors and still, well, do they want something to eat? Are they hungry? I know they may not, eat the same food we eat or get used to it. They'll tell me that if I saw them, just they know your mom made me feel so welcome. She did. And so there was so much when she left. We had so many people that would reach out. Your mom was one of the ones I loved the most. She would always, speak life into me.
I love that. Exactly.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like she just knew what to say, when to say it. And that's a gift. That's the gift now that I know was passed on to me. And it happens in grocery stores. I can just smile at someone, or, I'm bumping into someone in produce. And we start talking about one thing, and that'll lead to something else, and they're laughing. And that, to me, that exchange, that's what it's about.
Yeah.
That's what it's about. Just paying, like Amber Lene said, just that kindness, that random act of, hello, how are you? How is your day going?
So true.
Or I have people do that to me. I've done it to people. Are you okay, sir, ma'am? Or just that, seeing that worker go, you have a good day, the rest of your work day. Thank you. You know, I've had cashiers sit there and tell me that. Well, no, I had a waitress, and I kid you not, my daughter just laughing because we were talking about embarrassing moments. And I'm a stickler for that. She knows I'm like, okay, sit up and don't be speaking like this in public and don't do this. And she sitting there listening. So she's telling her friend, I don't know why she's sitting there saying that. Like she didn't have a whole argument with her now ex in Applebee's and went so far left with it in front of all these people that for my mouth to drop open, and I'm the one that's the badass. I'm just like, Mom. And I laughed. I literally put my head down because I remembered immediately. Like, I never said I was perfect. I never said that.
I'm sorry.
Okay, let's just put that on record. I didn't say that.
We get triggered. We're not perfect.
I'm having a human experience.
Exactly.
And she just looked at me. She was like, when I say she went so far left, the people at our table around us, the booths, they're turning like, oh, wow. And the waitress had come 3 times trying to get my order. You know, she came 3 times. And when I realized that, I said, and I asked my daughter, but what did she say? At the end of it all, okay, we know the specifics of what I did. But before we left for dinner, what did that waitress say? And she came back to me. And she said, you know, I just want to say thank you to you for how you treated me. And I was confused at first. I'm like, you're thanking me? I said, well, you're welcome, hon. You know, you're welcome, sweetheart. But I don't know what I did. She said, no, it's because doing this job, we're not treated the greatest. Mm-hmm. You know, people can be really rude and mean at times. Yet every time, even with, you know, I tried to give you a minute, I understood you were on a phone call, and I said, and I'm deeply. She's like, no, you've already apologized, and that's the thing. You apologized to me so many times when we've seen people do that and more in here, and they just like, okay, to hell with them, they'll handle it, whatever. But you were very conscious of that and how you made me feel. And you kept apologizing. And so every time she came back and with my order, do you want some? I'm like, please, and thank you so much. She was like, you said, I can't even count how many times you said thank you so much to me. And I don't get that a lot.
Exactly.
And it made my heart heavy. And I told my daughter that. Like, this is, I mean, but that comes natural for me.
As it should. That is very important. And I'm so happy to hear that. That's the truth right there.
It comes natural to me. Mm-hmm. But she made me aware, and I've seen it, where that doesn't come naturally to so many people. Uh-huh. It just doesn't. I've seen people say some of the rudest things, and it's like, dude, really?
Yeah.
That's how you feel. You know, that's what you're going to say. And my son just sat there. He said, I told a woman at work that. I had to tell her, if you just sit back, a person will tell you everything you want to know, sometimes without verbal words.
Oh, yeah.
In their language, their body language. Mm-hmm. And also one of the main things, watch how they interact with others, especially people that they say that is a friend or that they care about. Mm-hmm. And you'll really see the character of a person. And I do that. It's something, again, that's a natural inclination for me.
Yeah.
And so this is why when I was telling you that story before you started recording of my cousin having a friend that wasn't feeling me, but she didn't know me. She had just met me. But it was because of energetically what she felt from me.
Uh-huh.
And I think that intimidated her. Uh-huh. And you know what I mean, because we spoke about that yesterday, about mm-hmm. not having friends really, because so many other women that are not in their divine feminine energy, and believe me, I'm not calling out I'm just speaking for true facts of what it is.
Yeah, absolutely.
It is being in that karmic energy of you being insecure because you see something in me that I believe that you would like to be in that energy, but instead of trying to get to know me or asking me, I'm that one that will ask. I get shaded. I get, and taking this even deeper as an African American woman. The women my color, melanated women, do that to me the most. And I know that's a shocker, and people listen like, what? But from we are here for me to speak on my personal experience.
Yeah, absolutely. Please.
Truthfully.
Yeah.
And my personal experience is I get that shade, and I've gotten from all shapes, sizes, colors, and all parts of the world. But I get it more from melanated women. And I told my daughter that I find that very offensive. And she even looks, and she knows, and I told you how her personality is. She's like, she spots it too. And I have to always, when we're together, it's me having to get out of it like, okay, no, let me calm her down, because she's going to be the one that says something, because she'll catch it sometimes before I do. Because I'm so busy being in my friendly, loving energy, talking to people. But she'll notice that one in the corner that's looking me up and down and didn't have anything to say to me. And she just, and I can see it. It's like she gets this twitch. And I'm like, what's going on? No, because it's the way she's looking. I mean, she's going to speak to you or she's not. And I feel her. But I said, you just can't be that reactive. Pray for her.
Exactly. Pray for her to heal.
You said what again, you finished my sentence. What I was going to say. She needs healing, baby.
She needs healing.
We have to pray for her to heal.
Needs healing big time.
When I say so many of them, and this is where platforms like yours comes in, because there's so many ways to get it now, we are left without excuse. I'm going to say this because I hear it so much in my personal life. Well, I just don't understand. I don't know. Really? Because for one, just having a me around you, whether it's 6 degrees of separation or not, there's no way you can sit here and tell me that the Most High isn't gifting you someone that can help you through that. The problem is some of you denounce the gift. I don't really want to hear that right now. Okay, well, that's what I have to give. So that's what I have. Were you looking for something else? I don't know.
See, right there with what you just said, when they say, I don't want to hear it right now, see, that's the first step, is wanting to hear it, wanting to acknowledge it, because everyone has the capability of embracing and embodying the divine feminine or the divine masculine. And it just takes the work, the actual work and the healing work to be done, rather than them hating or projecting. But I completely understand the projection, the hate, the triggering of people. But that just shows them that really, if they were to go inward rather than project it onto us,
outward,
exactly, then they would see where it's coming from on the inside and what they have to work on. What did they dislike about us? Whatever they dislike about us is truly what they need to work on within themselves.
Exactly. Thank you. And that's what you said, that I have to deliver. That's triggering. It's the triggers. And people, that's what they can't get a handle on. Well, something in her triggered me. Right. Because it's a reflection of something you're missing. And you need to ask your team. You need to pray and go to the Most High and your team to figure out what that is, to fix it.
Exactly.
That's how that goes. That's the progression.
Exactly.
But when you try to, with love and light, tell everyone this, it's not always met. People don't realize on this journey what we're met with sometimes.
Oh, and when you do it with love and light and you are in your divine feminine energy, my goodness gracious, that's even more triggering to people. Girl, you know that. Oh.
I'm laughing because I mean, if anyone's listening, these are the conversations. I love that we're in an age now. That's what I do love about the platforms on social media. Because other than that, I couldn't get with it. It took a minute. But now, because I can utilize it, and we can utilize it, I was shown by the Most High, by my team, well, this now, it's like the lights went on. This is how you utilize it. This is how you get the word out that we need you to get out. And this is what we want to know. Like, seriously, with the projection is real. People not wanting to do that work. People wanting to take your energy, wanting you to do that work for them. Do the heavy lifting. And it's like, honey, I did all the heavy lifting for lifetimes.
We already said we're not coming back.
We said, thank you, Molly, and I have decided we're not coming back.
I'm good. Yeah.
We're not.
No.
I'm not coming back to Earth School. Now, we graduate. We're on our graduation tour. Mm-hmm. Now, we don't know how long this is going to go on. We haven't gotten that addendum yet. We haven't gotten the memorandum of what we're supposed to do, how long that's going to go.
No.
We just know we're going to be obedient. Clearly, we're going to do that.
Oh, yes. 100%.
And do what our divine purpose to which we were called, and get on that path.
Mm-hmm.
And I think people will find that though once you do, if you really commit, and the beauty of that is you're making that commitment with the ultimate source, substance, limits, and bounds of all things, the Most High Himself, right. And you. That's the most intimate relationship and best one you're going to want.
Yes. 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 I'm sorry. I felt that to my core.
That's the best relationship to be in. That's the best commitment you could ever have. Is that one. So when we, I don't care who you are, what your or sexual orientation, whatever. When you bring it to Him, none of that matters. Mm-hmm. It's just you and Him in that space. And when I say I get so heavy in it that I my kids have to call. They're calling, Mom, come back. Come on back. We need you back. we with all praises to the Most High, all glory and honor, but we need you back.
All the time. But
we're learning.
We're learning.
For all of you that can hear us,
we're learning.
We are learning to not overwhelm you all with our spiritual joy and light that we love so much.
Right.
And our good, the good love that we're giving, we're being loved on real well.
Because not everybody's ready to receive it or understand it. But it is all glory goes to God. Like the Most High. I love Him. If people are like, whoa, calm down. I'm like, I don't want to.
I love Him so much.
I love Him too.
That's the thing, that's that if you're going to project anything, let it be that. Why not?
Yes. Thank you.
Why not? At the end of the day, with everything that is happening in the world, and I am one, I'd like to be up to the minute on current events in the world. Like not just in my neck of the woods and people, I noticed that, but in the world, because that's the energy, that's part of my divine purpose to which I was called, to give that healing energy to the world. So I have to be connected. Now, as I told you, because I'm such an empath of the highest degree, I do have to go hermit, which is fittingly why that card in the tarot deck is for Virgo. I have to be my best spiritual self for the collective. But at the end of the day, I will just say this, baby, if you think I'm not going to give Him that praise and that honor and that glory, I will. I don't overwhelm people with it, and anybody around you can tell you that. But my sister and I had this same discussion. The one that I told you is very gifted and spiritual as well. And she said the same thing. She actually got mad about it and basically said, to hell with it. I'm going to say what I'm going to, and I had to say what you said. No, you know what? Everyone is not ready to receive that, honey. Mm-hmm. So the discernment has to be there with us to know that. And if it is like I think it is, you're going to know when we because I told you, I hear it clairaudiently. Mm-hmm. Okay, no, not right now. No, just don't even do that. Mm-hmm. That's my team. This is how we get and I can be right in the middle of the thing. Don't you finish that?
Now's not the time. Next time.
Don't you finish that? We'll get to that later. We have to prep them first before you do that. And then and that's so in your mind you're having this conversation. Oh wait, so I was okay. My bad. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I didn't get that right away. I'll make sure to check that in.
Yeah, because it's so interesting. Like people are so used to the projection of negativity, but they're not used to the projection of love and of God.
Yes.
So we're gentle.
That's what it is. And you know what? By all rights, though, look at what the world has given them as to why now it's turning them, what the Matrix has done. Mm-hmm. Like, seriously. Everywhere you turn on TV, like with my grandchildren, I'm like, you know what? This is for, I have to censor everything. It's like, nope, don't watch, nope, don't. Well, you can watch that. Well, then I hear something, nope, turn that off. Go to that one. And there's still something. It's like, oh my goodness, no wonder. Some of them, like, they don't really understand how to receive it and really channel that which is already within. It's in there. Because the thing is, we're all capable of that light and dark. As sure as we're sitting here in love and light, I told you some stories about my dark.
Oh, yeah, we have it. Absolutely.
We have it.
Yeah.
It's just knowing, it's not letting it get unbalanced. It's doing what I call the temperature check of making sure that that is balanced. And that would be with your spiritual team, with prayer.
Exactly.
With servitude in that way to the Most High and yourself, to yourself, because essentially He is in us. He lives in us. He really does. We can harness that power.
Yeah.
But you have to become aware of it, and to become aware of it is to deal with that which you have avoided some of us our entire lives looking at.
Yeah. Yep.
You're going to have to look at it.
A lot of people, they don't want to acknowledge it.
No, they don't.
Yeah.
They don't. And that's where, for me, and I still, I'm obedient, and I've had my moments. And that's where I told my son, I said, you don't think I had assignments I didn't want to take? That I'm just like, nah, really? Because I'm just being completely honest. There are some that you're like, I already feel it. This is going to be a doozy. Okay, like this one, I know.
Gosh.
I'm thinking, Most High, you really like to challenge me, huh? Maybe I shouldn't have tried to be the best in class, not try to be at the head of the class, because for real, this is this week's assignment.
Yeah, you graduate to the next class, right? Or the next
level. Oh my gosh. Yes, and you're just sitting there like, I really take my quiet time is everything, because that's what I process. That's how I process. And I'm just like, but I know I can feel it. Again, it's the gift. And I used to say it, and I had to stop saying that, because as we just talked about, the power of manifestation and our words.
Oh, absolutely.
So to say, well, it's a gift and a curse. And I used to say that to people like, how did you know that? And are you psychic? And I'm like, I guess, I don't know. I wouldn't say that. But I'm just like, sometimes that's, having that intuitiveness on that level is a gift and a curse. And I heard my team after I got into this journey after the pandemic, like, no, it's not a curse. I know you've had some things that are really heavy that made you feel that way in your life. But trust me, we're going to help you to develop these gifts. They are absolutely gifts. That the more you develop them, you're going to bring that out of people where they're going to wish they had them. And that's what made sense when I'm in front of certain feminines, even men, that are intimidated by that. I mean, definitely I've had men.
It's the men too. Yeah, I know.
Men.
Yeah.
And I know you've experienced this, and not even just where it's a romantic or relationship front, but just where men feel that divine feminine energy. And I'm going to be honest, for the ones that have not had one, that is very threatening and intimidating to them. And I know that because my ex was that one. He had had one in the way that was going to speak up for herself, that was going to challenge him and call him out. I'm not the get along to go along, or go along to get along yet. Exactly. That's what I used to say. To go along to get along, I don't know. That doesn't live here. Because that's how so many people are off path right now. Is because, well, I got to go along. No, we don't. And that's very detrimental. That's very important, because it can be detrimental to you.
Yeah.
To not listen to when the Most High, your team, and everything in you is screaming, don't go with that person. Don't go with that group. Don't get in that car, and you do it anyway.
Oh my gosh. You're so right. So right.
Don't do it.
Oh, you gotta listen. You gotta listen.
You've gotta listen.
Derail you. It could derail your path on so many levels.
Yes, absolutely. Wow. And this, again, as I told you yesterday, when I say it, that's either a personal experience or someone close to me that I've watched and learned that lesson watching them. I am that kind of learner. by learning from the head of the class ahead. Oh no, see, they made that mistake. We won't be doing that in this class, which is why we have already decided we're not coming back. We're in that class. Well, no, we're not coming back. We're going to take our cue from those ones that didn't know. Now that we've been given and handed certain information, and thank you again, Most High, for that information.
Thank you.
We will not be coming back.
Exactly. Because we are obedient. I love that word, obedient. We are sticking with the plan that He has given to us, and we are doing the best we can. And I'm not. I know that we're not straying off that path. We're doing exactly what He wants us to do.
Yes.
It may be challenging. It may be heavy, but it's worth it.
Yeah, it's very much worth it. And I can't stress that enough. Like, how much, just how honored. It's an honor because, you know, like I said, I see so much for all this chaos, for all these things, the evil that's being exposed in the world.
Mm-hmm.
In juxtaposition, I can see so many things now in such a different way. The beauty of what this fight is that we're bringing to the doorstep, and so that can be saved. And souls can be awakened, and they can really see this is what happens when you trust Him, when you just give Him, and I mean, and have that faith, as this podcast is beautifully named.
Oh, thank you.
Just that mustard seed worth is so powerful. I mean, you just have to know that little bit, what He can do with it. He's shown me that. Just like gosh, I know, because you shared that with me. How that little bit helped you, and then how it blossomed, how that seed, we took it, He showed us, we planted it together with Him, watered it, and now look at it, and now look at you. And it's like, this is, wow, and that's all it took. That's why that love, like you said, I love Him. And it's almost like when that teenage girl is confessing that crush, I love Him. Oh my God, I love Him.
I love Him so much. I love Him so much. Love you. I love you.
We love you. This is like, when I say there are days, when I can have that quiet time in my bed before, everybody's calling and I got to get up. And there are times I've just looked out the window and just, if the sun is shining on that day, even when it's raining. And the other day I don't know why, I just felt that connection to the rain and the sound of the water. Like beautiful. I told, the water is a powerful conduit, and it's so beautiful. Oh. And I was just like, thank you so much. Like this, the beauty of it, the simplistic things. Like at the end of the day, so many people look at me that know me. And when I say this in my circle that I've grown up with, and they see high maintenance, and you've always been, you put yourself together. I am the simplest person to make happy, though. Like the simplest thing makes me happy.
Yeah.
That it takes you getting to know me to know that. Like that curled up on the couch with my grandkids and watching something and seeing that the light in their eyes just get brighter when they learn something, when they ask something, I point something out, and they're like, for real? And I'm like, yeah, did you notice that in there? And just that exchange and being in that beautiful, loving energy, that's everything to me.
That it really is
everything to me.
Oh my gosh, just snuggling up on the couch, watching something, or just it being peaceful.
Just peaceful.
And then you have, like if I have my son there, or I wake up in the morning and I see Puppy Moon, she gets so excited. She starts kissing me. And I'm like, thank you, God, for my peaceful morning with my puppy here, just smiling in my face. Like just the littlest things. It's like...
It matters. And the reason that this is so necessary and vital, because right now, in this world, and with another Category 5 hurricane about to hit, the people that I've seen, the losses, that were just sitting on their couch, cuddled up with their loved one and their dog.
Exactly.
And their babies. And these same pets and babies are floating down rivers.
Exactly. Timeca?
We cannot squander those things that seem so little and insignificant to some people, that are major.
That are massive. You're right.
And that now are being ripped from people's now they have it the members.
Exactly.
You
That's
know,
why we
be grateful. People need to start getting in an attitude of gratitude real quick for the person that you can wake up and kiss, that you can wake up and hug, that you can pet that dog and get up and give him his water and take him on his morning walk.
Exactly.
And you get some fresh air. These people aren't going to be able to get that anymore.
The sound of the rain while you're snuggled up on the couch.
Yes.
Like you said. Exactly. That's exactly it. We are blessed, literally.
Beyond measure.
Gosh.
Beyond measure.
Mm-hmm.
And I need that to be known that for the ones that have lost someone, they're with you. They are. They always will be. And this too will pass. It will. It doesn't seem like it with the way it's been back to back. And I know something, and you do too, about that back to back, those tower moments that are back to back to back.
Mm-hmm.
And you're just like, I haven't even come up for air, Heavenly Father. Like, but I'm going to keep going.
Yep.
This is hard. And I took a hit. I'm wounded. But through your grace,
Yep.
I'm going to, I got this. Just please don't let me go. Just please. I'm not strong enough right now. These are conversations I've had. You see, I'm not strong enough right now.
Yeah, true. Yep.
And so I ask, I'm like, you know what? I need you right now. I need all hands on deck. Mm-hmm. And that's what you have to know. It's okay when these moments happen, like so many people are going through and that a lot of us have had to overcome. Mm-hmm. It's okay. We're frail. The frailty of it all. It is. It's a lot, and it can feel like it's insurmountable. But I'm here to tell you, you will, you can, and you will. Mm-hmm. You can and you will, because if you can hear my voice and you can hear Molly's voice and you feel that energy. That I instantly felt the minute we finally got them. Actually, the minute I tapped in to your channel. But when we talked yesterday, immediately.
Yeah.
That's what I need everyone to know. We're here, and if that's just in spirit through prayer. Mm-hmm. I love you. In spirit, because I do. I don't have to know you. Just like I've heard so many people have that conversations. I don't have to know you personally to send you love.
Right.
To say I'm sending you love and genuinely mean it. And I'm getting email confirmations that are coming in as I'm saying it. Bing, bing, bing.
Oh my
just
God.
confirm.
Yeah.
I don't have to. That's confirmation that I mean what I said. I truly. That's the kind of heart I have. Now, I will say it would behoove you not to upset my team, meaning by doing something when I've come again with mm-hmm. that intent and intention mm-hmm. in love and light, and you're not trying to reciprocate that. Everything is reciprocal, mm-hmm. or it should be. Mm-hmm. But if you're not exchanging that same energetic frequency, they don't like to play around. That's and really, there are times where I tried to pray for certain people and get in the way of that, and that's a whole nother conversation, a whole nother podcast for another day. I'm trying to intercede on somebody else's karma.
Seriously, that's why we have to use discernment on that.
Yes, it's so vital.
I will talk to my guides, and I will talk to God, and I'm like, okay, this is what's going on. So, like, if I get a message and I get, like, downloads, like, this is going on here, I'll be like, okay, I need you to know what's going on. I'm in their life for a reason. I'm gonna send this to you with love, and I'm gonna pray for them to, I'll send prayers of light, but God, this is in your hands. Like, you're gonna know what to do from here. I'm putting it out there to you, but you're the boss. Like, you know what's best.
Yes. 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 It's like that boss and the executive assistant. I'm here at your leisure.
Exactly.
what you need me to do.
Yeah.
So you tell me, you give me that. And that's where, I forgot who I heard that from, but that was powerful. It was like, I go to him for prayer. I take my request to him and ask him in prayer what needs to be asked. And I go in meditation for that answer.
Yeah.
And that's that's powerful, because that definitely happens that way for me, where I pray about it. But when I get in meditation, that's even, and whether it's deep meditation where I, put on the, like I said, the nature sounds, or I'll get the binaural beats, do it subliminal, they call it subliminal messages, but sounds and things. But sometimes now I'm just to the point, I don't need to do that if I don't want to really tap in and meditate and get deep into with my spirit guides. So I can just close my eyes, and it just needs to be very quiet for me and tranquil. And sometimes now it's getting to the point I'm doing it and my eyes are open, and I'm starting to see, and I'll be just so good and feeling good in my feminine energy. Have you had days like that where you just woke up and you had a day where you just really felt good in your feminine energy?
Oh yeah, I love it. I love it.
I love that.
I love that feminine energy.
And that's what I want for all our divine feminines, and the masculines too. But we're talking about us feminines. We kind of girls rock right now. And but no, I do feel like and I just got an idea for the name of our podcast. I feel like this is the age of the divine feminine. I do.
It is, yeah. I feel it is too. I don't know why one of my guides must have just popped in there and said that, because that just came flowing through. I feel like it is.
It's the age of the divine feminine. I think we are the key as to what has to start turning this thing around. Seriously.
Yeah.
Seriously. And the reason I knew that for real is because so many podcasts, and this is where my son comes in, of the male persuasion that are popping up with men. And I don't know if you've seen them, but there are so many podcasts of men talking about what they're unhappy with the feminine. That what they're not getting, what they have tried to do. And truthfully, some of them have some valid points. They do. I can't even, I just can't dispute it. That is indisputable, because I have, like I told you yesterday, the females dominate my mom's side of the family. There are a lot more women. And I sit down with them, and because they come to me, never in an invasive way. I'm usually by invitation only. I will say it that way. Where they invite me in. And that's why I have to give disclaimers, and that's where people miss. When I said, nope, in the beginning I did tell you, be mindful of what you asked me. You invited me in, but I need to give you this disclaimer before we do, because you're going to get honesty. And sometimes it's a little brutal. And again, another disclaimer, number 2, 2A. This one is my guys, what they come through with. This is why that disclaimer had to be there. I don't control that. No. I am just the messenger.
Exactly.
So through me being the conduit, you have asked the divine a question, and he is going to give you an answer. And when I've done that, that there are times that it hasn't gone well. That's rare. But there are times I can see that they're in their feelings a little bit, because they know it pinged that was truth.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And this is where I would say to our divine feminines, you have to recognize, again, as I said yesterday, that divinity in you first. You have to love on yourself first. You have to make sure that cup is full first before you're trying to pour out of it.
Absolutely.
And it's, again, dang near empty.
Absolutely.
Because then you find yourself in these situations, and then you get these men, and especially if you're in that relationship, and you've given him everything. I'm going to give him everything. And there's not an equal reciprocal energy. And here's the thing, though, it's not going to always be equal. It's not. There are going to be times in that life that, like I heard Michelle Obama say about her and Barack. Well, there were times in that marriage I had to give 75%, and he only had 25. That's what you have to know, because she was strong enough to give it again, and knew her husband was deplete, like everything that he was the president of the United States.
Yeah.
But besides that, he was a husband and a father.
Mm-hmm.
And with those kinds of hats, well, that divine feminine, she had to absolutely come in as she should and be that anchor.
Yeah.
And say, okay, you know what? I see what you have on you. I see what you have on you, my king. Let me help alleviate that. I'm going to take on an extra 50% today or this week or whatever that is. And you get your power, you get yourself built back up.
Absolutely.
Get back in the game.
Absolutely.
And then we can redistribute this again. And that's all it is. It's a redistribution of that energy. And with our feminines, it has been lost. There's so many of them. I see beautiful feminines. And that's when I say that they're beautiful on the outside and they're not doing beautiful things from the inside.
Yeah.
Because, and I know where it comes from because I've been there. Something happened. And if you can't convince me otherwise, people, well, some of them are born that way. And I'm not going to say that kind of karmic energy can't pass on. It can. I've seen karmic children that are just where you're just like, oh my gosh, this kid.
Mm-hmm.
But that even comes from somewhere. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Yeah.
It had a starting point, is what I'm trying to say.
Mm-hmm.
And with so many women that I see, and when they get in my presence, and that I've sat down with friends of some of my siblings, my female siblings, like I said, they're like little sisters, extensions of them, of my sisters. And I've sat with some of them like, listen, do you know how beautiful you are?
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, well, I'm like, no, I need you to just flow with me for a minute.
Yeah.
I see that. And because, again, Molly, we've done the work, so we have that new set of spiritual eyes that's earned.
Absolutely.
Basically.
Yeah.
And I could see her. But I'm like, I don't think you do. And you know why? Because why on earth would you get up at 3 a.m. if that man called you at that time and just went, and we've been hanging out all day, and that's what time he wanted you to come? What does that say for him? What is he saying to you? What message are you getting?
Exactly.
Does that say the divine, he recognizes that you're a divine feminine?
No.
I would say he doesn't.
Yeah.
But more importantly, again, the free will. You chose to get up and go. So something in you felt like that's all you're worth.
Mm-hmm.
No, we're not. Not on my watch. That's not what we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
So if that takes me having to tell you what I see, honey, you know 3 languages. You don't have children. You have a job. You take care of yourself. That in and of itself should be celebrated.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're behaving in a way and this is what you're going to sell yourself out as is, okay, well, I'm going to just sneak out and, we'll get together at 3 a.m. Well, he could possibly only want one thing at 3 a.m.
Yeah.
He only wants one thing.
Yeah, it's not about that. Yeah.
And it wasn't because of your brains that we were speaking of.
Yeah.
It wasn't.
Or your
and
heart.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
And that's what she's longing for, right? You're longing for that kind of connection. But why do you need to lead with your body? Why does it have to be that? And she sat there, and I know she heard me, because she came back to me. Well, yeah, I did. I saw a post, and he was already talking about he bought this other girl that. Exactly. And I heard you. Well, I don't really care, but you really do care, which is why we're talking about it now.
Yeah.
You do. And this is where I said, love, give yourself the flowers.
Yeah.
First. Because once you do, then the ones that match that energy they're going to meet you there. They're going to come to you. Because the divine has sent them. So because now you have raised to that frequency again to connect to him, the God frequency.
I always buy myself flowers. I have flowers in my house.
Yeah, you see what I mean?
Girl. It just depends on which ones I want. I like roses.
I can't wait. I can't wait to grow them. I feel like that's what it's going to be when this place, with all the things we've been talking about, that's another part of it. I want to have land. I want us to all plant. I want us to do flowers, like everything that connects to that energy.
Yeah.
Vegetables, even everything.
Strawberries would be yummy.
Strawberry. I love strawberries so much. So let's grow those, but because it's indicative of that seed being planted within ourselves and us of love, and cultivating that.
Yeah.
Because that's what he planted in there for us. It's him. It's essentially him. Mm-hmm. But we let the darkness befall us.
Yeah.
And those influences, how it influences you. And no, we can't. That's not what he has for us. That's not what he has for any of you that are hearing this.
That's right.
I can't express that enough. And I sit there and I tell my granddaughter that, like, who's the smartest? Me. Who's the cutest?
Me. Oh, I love that.
And that's because, because I want her. I cultivate that so she doesn't look for that in a man first. She looks for that within herself first, because she knows it, because she hears it in her circle of love, in her love bubble. I told that Holly, she has it. She's not going to have to seek that which is already within her.
Do you know how powerful? Okay, that is so extremely powerful that you're doing that, because when I was going through my stuff with my ex, and the whole narcissistic, abusive, the assault, everything, right? And
oh my gosh, yeah.
And he also was like a S addict. Like, we've talked about all this, but
yes.
I remember all the nasty things, like, he would say to me. He would call me names, even during our marriage, like the C word. And I mean, he was,
oh my gosh, I know exactly.
Yeah. And then even after, like, he just, so he would project onto me, and I remember how rough it would get. But do you want to know the things my mom, my grandma, and my dad would say to me growing up as a child consistently until they passed away? Molly, I'm so proud of you. Molly, your heart is pure gold. You are beautiful inside and out. Don't ever change. We love you. We're proud. But they said this over and over and over again. So it's so interesting, because during that time when I had somebody who tried to break me so badly and just kept throwing those daggers, I could hear my parents and my grandma, I could hear their voices telling me who I was. And it would bring me to tears. So you doing that is such a powerful thing. It is. And I do that to Ryan too. It is so important. I'm so happy. It is.
You see what I mean? That I do that. My son told me that. And I know now when he comes on that he's going to bring that home. And you'll be able, and we'll be able to share this with the collective. But he said that, Mom, we were talking about this young man that I follow, and I love him. He's a love and dating coach called Stefan LeBron. His name is Stefan LeBron.
I love him.
Do you follow him too?
Oh, yes, I do. Oh, yes.
Stefan, I love him so much. Just an amazing man. If you hear me, if you hear this, I absolutely love you. And if you're with someone in the most platonic way, just let me say that out there.
Me too.
But, he just has a beautiful, divine, masculine spirit about him.
Right.
And so many things that I learned, literally, on my journey, especially being celibate, just the things he addresses. He said he was celibate for like 5 years. That's what amazed me. He's a man. And for a male, that's hard. So,
wow.
It was just amazing. And I put my son onto his channel, and he loves him. He's like, he said some of the realest things, has opened my eyes to so many things as a man, and as far as looking within and dating. But he was like, he had a specific episode about the relationship and the correlation to the sons with their moms, and then the kind of women that they'll eventually start to look for and go for. And my son was like, I'm so glad he addressed that, because he was like, I don't like hearing, I have clients and I won't speak on their names, but he talked about the scenarios where he was a mama's boy, where the female clients, he was a mama's boy. I don't like that term, because that's where you think they get, like, how that man, you should be looking at how he loves his mom. Absolutely. And how he treats his mom, because that's indicative of how he's going to treat you and how he is with his woman. I'm telling you. Mm-hmm. And the truth of the matter is, and that's why I knew early it was important for me to pour into my son in that way. But also still break the generational curse of my mom, whereas it was completely babying them, not building them up to be able to stand on their own. That's key, and that's hard as a single mom when our instinctive nature is to nurture.
Yeah.
So to give them that, and my son, whose biological father has never been there. He's only seen him physically once, and he's 29. That I knew it was important for me. I knew it. I have to break this. So for one, he's going to be a better father. He's going to be able to stand up on his own 2 feet, but know without question that he is a divine, that he's a king to be revered, because he is a reflection of the Most High in his ultimate form. And I need him to know that. So I'm going to have to make sure that when I need to be tough, I'm tough. And I remember when he called from college and everything that we talked about that he was going to face, I said, this is the precursor to the pros. You're going to see things. It's going to get real. And I'm going to need you to be strong. And it was all divinely guided. All my team telling me, you're going to have to get him prepared. Tell him. And I did. And that day came and he just broke down. I can't do it. Mom, what I'm seeing, how they act here. The way I'm being, like, I'm just ready to come home. And I remember everything in me. Yep, my baby's coming home. I'm not doing this. Because the things that he told me hurt me so bad. To the depression that he was dealing with. And then, man, when he would sit down with someone, I'm like, oh no, this has gotten real.
Yeah.
But I heard it clearly. He can't come home. You can't let him do it. I said, baby, I hear you and I'm with you. And right now my left side is tingling as I'm saying this. Like, I'm with you. I am. Every step of the way. Do you remember what I told you in the beginning? And he remembered and recalled the conversation. And I said, this is that time where I have to be tough. I have to be seemingly cruel to be kind. I can't let you come back here and be on. I can't. That would be detrimental to the future that was shown to you in that accident, and when your divine angel and guardian angels came for you.
I love that.
And
story.
Told you had a purpose, then I wouldn't be being true to that, neither would you.
Yeah.
You have to stay there and see this through. It's going to open the doors for so many people to do the same.
Yep.
But more importantly, for your life path and journey, this stop is going to change the trajectory of everything for you. And if I would not be able to see, I will suffer from that, from not telling you that. Now, you are grown and you can make decisions, but governing this household, I'm just telling you, I can't let you do that. But if you want to come home for the weekend, absolutely. I'll come get you.
Yeah.
I'll come get you, but not with your things. Not for you to stay.
Yeah.
And my cousin, I remember calling her. She's one of the older cousins. She was close to my mom's age. But she called to check. She happened to call later that week to check in on me and to ask how my son was doing in school, and said that she had seen one of his coaches. And I told her, I said, well, yeah, he's trying to come home because a lot of stuff transpired. And before I can even finish the sentence, Molly, I kid you not, you better not let him. I mean, she just tore me a new one. And I was like, okay, I'm going to let her have this moment because I didn't even get to say anything. And because do you know how many of them in the family and the boys, they're not doing it, they're selling drugs and that haven't even gone to college? You cannot. I said, Felicia, if you could give me a second, he's not here, okay? He stayed. Because I was about to say, no, you did say. There was no about to say. You said it. You just cursed me out.
Yeah.
But I get where her intentions were. I get it.
Yeah.
I get why. And he does now too. He's reflecting on so many things from those 5 years. And it's like, Ma, you know what? I know it's the Most High that got us through. I know it because even for you, what you were facing in your own relationships, in your personal life with Chris, and still making sure I had money when I needed to eat, when I couldn't go to the cafe, when my scholarship didn't cover, you were right there. And when I wanted to go home, you didn't let me. And now look what I'm doing. And I thank you for that. I thank you for your strength and your courage under fire.
Yep.
And I needed that, Mom. I needed to hear that because he didn't even know how badly I needed to hear that. To where that was one of those times in my life where things were heavy for me. And that loneliness you spoke of, I was feeling that. Mm-hmm. Because there are times in this journey where it until you get to this, again, you've been handed over for that next timeline, for that transition. That's what I went through. And I took that and I did that like a champ. But in private, it's like I just want a friend that gets me. I just want, to not be betrayed by the people I love the most. I just want, you know what I mean?
Absolutely. Yep.
And then look, and then staying the course, being patient, that faith of that mustard seed.
Yep.
Everything, I can look back now and I'm like, everything that I've asked you for is starting to be hand delivered to me. And I thank you for it so much. I thank you so much. So for my son to say that, like you said, and I have to do that. I have to keep paying that forward to my grandchildren now, the next part of the legacy.
Right.
And tell them, like, no, do you know who's the smartest? Like my grandson, who's the strongest? And he's the tiniest one of them all. The one I told you that was a pre-August. Me, when he's flexing his muscles.
Yeah.
Like, you're the strongest, aren't you? Yeah. You're the smartest. I am. And I always try to, we have to have humility, though, because they've had moments where I'm like, okay, that was rude. Because they're kids, they're children.
Yeah.
So you guide that, and every time, and he's looking, I'm like, what do you say? I'm sorry. I'm like, can we try that again? I'm sorry. Thank you. I appreciate that. And do you know, my daughter said that the teachers for him, they come to her, you know what? Good job. Because he's my favorite. And my daughter's looking like, are you serious? Because he's such a spoiled brat with the rest of us, but when he's home. But that testament is always there when people in public can tell he was so, and just intelligent. And he is, oh my goodness, absolute delight to have in the class. We're both, I'm laughing because I'm looking at her face like, well, you didn't see this is what it's about. As much as you fuss, holler, this and the other. But our kids, even if we didn't get it right, you can say that with that's important, that your children are a reflection.
Right.
And I know that because with Ryan, same thing, like with my son. So he keeps getting it. Like, I need to, I would love to meet your mom. It's real. This is true story. Just the other day, I said, who wants to meet me? And he was like, yeah, one of my colleagues, because she was talking to me, and I had asked her if she wants some lunch or whatever. And she was just like, I would love to meet your mom because she did a hell of a job with you. She really did.
Wow.
And it made me cry. Like, I didn't cheer for him because he was like, Mom, I've been this big water bag lately. But when he left later, I cried. When I sit in that solitude in my day and have that moment with myself and my team. I cried and was like, thank you, because I couldn't have done that without you.
Exactly.
Putting that I couldn't have done that.
That's the truth. Yeah.
I couldn't. And so I'm grateful for that. And that's why when people say that about, well, their mama's like, no, he should be. Because that's testament of how he's going to treat all women. And I know you know that, because Ryan, I know he's like that, not just with you. He's going to be like that with every woman that he meets. Yeah. When he has a daughter of his own, he's going to be that. He's going to pour into her.
He's so...
The way poured into him.
He's like, Mom, I'm working on my stability, the businesses. And he goes, and then I know I'll be divinely guided to my perfect match. And she's going to love God. And she's not going to take me off my path with God. and we're gonna,
Yeah.
as long as she's good for me. And I said, I believe that's true. I have faith in that. He's like, I'm just gonna make sure that she matches me and she prays with me, you know, like that's what he
You
wants.
see what I mean?
That's what he's
Thank you.
looking for.
And that's what he should have. That's, as a divine masculine, his right. Do you understand? Like, that's
Exactly.
his right.
Exactly.
And that's what I want my son, and that's what I want for him. And, you know, unfortunately, he's the first time with my grandson's mother, that wasn't the case. But that's where we got really real.
Yeah.
I said, something in her mirrored you. That's why you attracted her. You didn't heal something. And he cried about that. He admitted, like, you're right. I see it now. I see it now, Mom.
That's true.
And he cried, and we hugged, and he was like, so, and he went celibate for a year. And like I said, he's younger, you know, but he did it for the last, like, he did it for a year. And I was like, do you know how powerful that is, that you committed? Just showing him that, what he's going to do for you.
Absolutely. And you're right.
I said, you know,
it's a mirror.
It's a mirror. Thank you. It really is. They're going to, if we don't do that healing, and this circles right back to the beginning of this thing. If you don't do that, you end up attracting people that mirror that exact wounding that's in there.
Yeah.
That you decided not to take a look at.
Yeah. I think
he's going to send it to you.
And I think one of like the major things too is, as an empath, like you said something very powerful about taking your time to, and I'm not quoting you on it, but basically to rejuvenate so that way you're overflowing, right? Because I understand that completely. It's not that we're disappearing, but no, we need to have good energy. For individuals, because we are so highly spiritually sensitive, spiritually in tune, empathic, right? And so that is, hold on one second. Don't go anywhere. I got to pause it for 1 second. Hold on, Timeca. Hold on.
Okay.
Let me pause it. Okay. So we'll edit that. Okay. So one of the things too is about healing the wounding, acknowledging it, but also for us learning boundaries, because we are so empathic. We want to assist so badly, but it's like, boundaries, woman, boundaries.
You know what? This podcast is going to be amazing. This walk with faith is going to be amazing. But what I'm seeing visually, as soon as you said that, and I got chills again on the left side, is when we do it together. That's because that's the theme right now. That's what we're seeing in the world. That's the boundaries. How they have been overrun. How everybody just agreed, and I'm going to take, and not think about their private. And now, well, like you and I talked about, I think they've spoken that they've had enough.
Yes, they have. Yes.
And I have to say, I've been saying this. My cousin just called again, like I said, before this podcast. And she was talking about two things that I told you get those confirmations. She mentioned sensitivity, which you just confirmed because you just said it. But we also, she was like, people are not liking my boundaries now. And I said, that's that true testament that you're ascending. Because that's, you know, I've already been through it. And she, I know, cousin, that's why I called you. You know, you're my guru. And that's what she last to call me. She's like 26. And she's like, you know, that's who I come to is you, because you get me. You understand the spiritual part of this when I'm seeing it through spiritual eyes. And I realized so many people that are falling away and mad and in their feels is simply just because she put up boundaries.
Absolutely. Yeah, they don't like boundaries. But it's...
No.
I'm just sorry. It's gotta happen.
Actually, no. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do one better for you. Sorry, people. We're not sorry.
We're not sorry.
Sorry.
It is what it is.
For the
I like that one. It is what it is.
I am so sorry, not sorry about that. Because we were in that, that's how we got abused. This is why we are narcissists. The best
supply. I know. Oh,
because they overrun our boundaries.
Yeah, not anymore.
We're so codependent, and when you wake up from that, the beauty in that. And I'm not going to lie, the satisfaction in looking at your face and seeing that light dim of you being so giddy from how good you got it, like a vampire that just sucked every piece of blood from someone.
Oh,
no,
my
you're
gosh.
not getting that supply anymore from me. Sorry, not sorry.
You know what's crazy, Tamika? Is I can feel it. My guides in the Most High will allow me to feel it. Like if I come in contact with a narcissist and I'm even like communicating with one for just a little bit and they try to throw stuff at me, or even just like their reverse psychology, backhanded comments, whatever, I will feel it. And I almost feel like my guides, even though I'm protected, because they've told me we're gonna. My guardian angel's like, I'm gonna throw you in the middle of the fire, Molly, but you're protected. Thanks so much for that one. But they'll show me just a glimpse of what it feels like, just as a reminder, and I'm like, oh, that's a no. Bye. I can't. I won't pray for you. I'm out of here. They showed me exactly who you are. Yeah, it is. It's like they will drain. They will. It's this.
They suck you dry. And tell me if you've done this. And now we have to exchange the narcissistic abuse stories, because this is I'm going to call it the Narcissist Chronicles. Because I'm telling you that when I say that, when I look back to even how I looked, the physical changes it took.
Oh my God. Tamika, yep, you saw what I posted on the community page.
I did, and that's why I'm speaking on it. Looking at your pictures, I could absolutely see the most recent ones and what you come out of versus the other ones, and when they have sucked your essence, literally, that you talked about, our essence out of us.
The truth, and if I could post, which I'm not going to give him that much fame because I wouldn't feed into his narcissism. The before, when I was being depleted of what he looked like, to when I pulled back my energy, cleansed and cleared with Source's love and light, and I detached from him, he went completely gray, got bloated, and turned red.
Wow.
Oh. But see, I'm not going to post that because I wouldn't give him any satisfaction.
No, he's had his 15 minutes of fame. Yeah. We're done with that.
We're done with that.
Enough of that. We're enough of that. But to your point,
whoa.
I know, like, I hate to giggle, but then again, I don't. I'm just gonna be
I love you.
It's just like, there is a satisfaction because you know what you had to endure.
Yeah.
And when I say that my ex, when he, he's following my social medias and certain pictures he saw, I'm like, you're looking good. Thanks. A part of me, and this is how I compartmentalize it in my mind, my dark and my light feminine. Like I said, I made best friends, and the ego, which is your mind. Mm-hmm. So my mind, my ego, which is attached to my shadow. She immediately came on through, and no, you're not. Anyway, we knew that already. and I almost said it.
Thank you. I already knew it. Thanks so much.
I almost said it. I'm like, I know. Like, I know. I know. But I was like, no. Immediately, the light, my heart, not come on. No, we don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
We're humble. We're gonna be humble. And I'm like, okay. So, I did a little bit of both. I'm like, thank you. I appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
But what about you? And I'm thinking, and I'm looking, and I could see with the pictures he posted, clearly. But I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna be cool. Keep it easy. Be nice. But I'm just like, thank you. I really appreciate that. I do my best. And he's just like, we're talking. But he was just like, this fountain of youth thing you got going on. I'm like, is that what it is? I just feel like it's, renewed energy. And he, of course, that went over his head. But I'm just like...
Of course it did.
It went over his head a little bit. But I'm like, no, it literally was that renewal of energy that was just breathed back into me. He just gifted me. That I'm like, that I'm so, again, I don't squander that either. I'm very grateful for that. Because all these years of work we put in. Are you kidding me? I wish I would fake my age like women. I just want to know I am 50, all of 51 years old.
And beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
And so are you. And that's what I said. And for real. And I thank you so much. I'm very, very humble by that because, again, I can't take, some of it's genetics. I get, that aging a little slower, and then how I take care of myself. But what I realized in that taking care of myself, the most important way that I had to do that was my spiritual health. And when I say, again, I was getting drained dry. And once he gave me that gift of making me aware of it, I'm like, what are you doing? I'm sorry. Hold on, Molly, 1 second.
Yeah.
I'm back. That was my son. Now, you know how you just paused and Ryan came in? Now I had to pause and Kenny came.
Hi, Kenny.
Miley says, hi, honey bun. He says hi. He's getting all settled in from work. But yeah, so I'm thinking that I was that good with you? Yeah. Okay. But yeah, so, you know, just in that, I realized that healing, that what I needed to take care of was my spiritual health, my energy.
Absolutely.
This is why I'm looking so haggard, and this is why I'm like, you know what, this is what sign me. I'm going to keep doing it's draining going.
Draining the life force energy out of you.
Oh my gosh, I did not know how vital that was.
Oh my
I didn't.
Gosh. Oh yeah.
I really didn't, and seeing that now, and every one of my spiritual sisters that I told you, like, I gotta follow, Shavi Zane, she's one of them. Her channel, Shavi Zane Tarot Investigator. People should definitely follow her. Love her. She did one of those things you did, and show pictures in one of her videos on her channel.
Oh, cool.
Of her journey of what she went through, right? And I looked at her before and to now, and she said, "This is from a few years ago, y'all, collective." And I'm like, you can see it on us when we really are going through it, when everybody around us has taken so much, that when I see that bright, beautiful, melanated skin of hers, now I'm like, yeah, she's lit. She's fully, that aura is shining, baby. And that's what I see with you. When I saw your pictures, I look back at my own, at some selfies and that's when I just had gotten into them, because I hated taking pictures of myself. But my daughter helped me with that and with my angles, and that was right around the time when things peaked badly for me in my relationship then. But and of course, people like, you still look good, but I saw a stark difference in the glow of I could see that light emanating from me in the last few years, like post-pandemic versus pre-pandemic.
Right.
So crazy to me.
Isn't it?
But it is so crazy to me. It's so insane that when you see that difference when you're going through it, and you're like, we're not understanding it all.
Tamika, I didn't smile. I cried all the time. That by the time I started to smile again, my cheeks would like shake. I didn't know how to use those muscles in my mouth. And,
oh my gosh.
Yeah. And now posting those pictures, I think about that all the time. I smile all the time.
You do. And that's beautiful. I love it so much. When I can make people smile, or when, just seeing a person's beautiful energy reflected through a smile, that's the power of it. That's why I said, when you smile, and guys will say that. I've heard that on these podcasts. Women don't understand the power of just when they smile. Oh my God. And I get that now. Because it's the same for me, and if you're cute to boot, that helps even better. But
but a smile is beautiful.
It's just like, hey, hi, and you get that smile, you feel that energy. Or like when what's the Tyra Banks, who said it on her show, she called it smiling with your eyes.
Yes.
You remember that?
I remember. Oh, I love her. She's fabulous.
I love that. Yes, it was like smile with your eyes, and which she was great at. And I learned to start doing that. And when my daughter was showing me how to do selfies, and I had so many people, men and women, you show something different through your eyes in a lot of your pictures, but you can see that beautiful divine feminine energy, and you smiling just with your eyes.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's a natural thing, though. But just my face, I am one that any of the emotions, if I'm upset, which you will see, you either hear it in my voice. My kids can pick up on that immediately, or you see it. It comes across my face and in my eyes. One of my best friends that we just started to reconnect from years ago, she used to be the one to tell me that you and Asia, her daughter's name is Asia, and my daughter's name was Tasia. So they were besties too. But she was like, you and Asia. It was like my daughter, she used to say they were switched at birth. You were supposed to have her, and I was supposed to have Asia, because each child reflected, like my daughter reflected her real feisty energy, and her daughter was that me, and always in her feminine, and was really girly, and she was just like, you know, how she would handle and how when she was hurt, it would play. She's like, you show it the same way, Asia, and it breaks my heart. I hate to see y'all upset because y'all, I'm so used to y'all smiling with y'all eyes and energetically being in that high vibrational energy. So the minute, you know, I didn't get it when people used to say that to me sometimes, your energy shifts the room. Do you realize that? Mm-hmm. And I'm like, I didn't at first, but at jobs, I was like, I guess it does, because I felt that shift when I would come in. Like, oh, I guess it does.
That's very important.
And, you know, it really, you know, so now for me, being cognizant of it, mm-hmm. it's like, okay, yeah, I can't, that power really will, when I'm upset, they feel it. And it's like, it's like the room will go quiet sometimes. I'm like, why is it right quiet? Well, I mean, are you all right? Are you good?
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, but truly I'm not. I don't want to divulge that to them. But I guess it does show energetically.
Energetically, yeah.
My energy output is strong. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to regroup. I go hermit, I go recluse.
Exactly.
And then I recalibrate. That's basically what that, like you said, that downtime that's necessary for our sensitivity is to recalibrate.
And that's why it's so important, too, that we stay away from energy vampires or or people with narcissistic tendencies or people like that will try to lower that energetic frequency, because the energy is so powerful of the divine feminine that it can shift the room, just the environment. It's like that pebble in the pond. So yeah, your energy, it's so potent for the divine feminine and rejuvenating. Yeah
it is. It's very, very potent and powerful. And mm-hmm. I now that I know that, and thus again the boundaries now that have come up with, mm-hmm. going back to the boundaries, mm-hmm. that have to come up because of that. That's where I'm unabashedly going, I'm sorry, that's what it is.
Yeah.
That is what it's going to be. And you have to know that going forward. I have to protect that. And that's not just for me. People need to understand it's for you too. Mm-hmm. It is for you too. Trust me.
It actually is.
You know, it really is. Like, people don't think they don't. It's just me. No, I'm doing that. I am being that. I'm doing this for everyone involved, not just myself. Because it's, to me, where that's concerned, there is no gray. It's either you're getting me in that light or my shadow comes out and she has taken over. If you brought that out of me. Mm-hmm. And when she does, it's like she doesn't apologize. It's like, no, because I came in love, light, and peace. You disrupted that.
Yeah.
Now I have to put her to bed, because that's what our shadow, as we talked about yesterday, is for, to protect that light.
Yeah.
So she's coming right full. Hey, swords and shields up, baby. What do you want to do? Because we're not doing this today.
Exactly.
You can sense it, and that's what it is. I picked that up off people. You can tell me one thing, but my grandson loves, but two of my grandsons love Spider-Man, and the Spidey sense, as we talk about, mm-hmm. when that kicks in, I'm gonna have to back that train up away from you.
Absolutely.
I can feel it. I see it.
Because we talked about how it can, I'm getting the word derail. It can derail us.
That's a beautiful word. I love your team. Because that's what it is.
Thank you.
Seriously, that is what it is. It'll derail you so far off that track, mm-hmm. that it's so quickly that how did this happen?
Yeah.
What? You're dazed and very much confused.
Yeah. Yep. And confusion does not come from the Most High.
And that does not, thank you. He is not the author of chaos and confusion.
No, he is not.
Thank you so much, Molly. He's not.
No, he is not.
That is your telltale sign to run away, run.
Yep.
If that is what that person is bringing out in you, in their presence, gotta go.
Run.
When I say, and you and I are testament of that, sweetie, seriously. If that is the kind of masculine that's for my feminines, if that's a masculine in front of you, or even females, don't get me wrong, there can be narcissistic friends, family.
There's narcissistic females, yeah, absolutely, yeah. Mm-hmm.
But my most powerful experiences with narcissistic and defeating them has been males.
Oh yeah.
It really has. I'm not even gonna lie. It's been of the male persuasion.
Me too. Me too. Yeah.
So
Yeah. Or lustful. Like we were talking about lust. Like it's a lustful spirit, you know?
yes, yes, that's attached to. And there's a correlation that I'm breaking down, and I feel like that they're going to reveal this to me. And when we get deeper on this, we're going to be able to break it down where people can really. And don't get me wrong, I get it from sources that are pros, professionals. Dr. Romani, she is the go-to. She's on everybody's shows and podcasts. She's been doing this for decades. So she is the one that when I see her on people's timelines, I trust that guidance, and she's broken it down so beautifully. But then, and now taking that spiritual knowledge that we get, that is give divine knowledge and wisdom that's given to us. Mm-hmm. I see it clearly, and I know that lustful, because every one of them, mm-hmm. the main ones that I can say were the top narcissists, and there were two in my life have sexual addictions. I take that back. Three. Yep. The trifecta, there are three of them.
Yep.
One of them didn't even get to physically touch me, but that's what he was trying to do. Yeah. That I told you was attached to it coming, and I felt that, and my team had cut it off. He was that final test to see if I'd really taken heed to all that they were guiding me to do. Right. And I passed that test. But because the ones before I had failed it, and I had to learn that lesson, and that was purposefully done by them, because what I got from it was great. The tools, the lessons that I got to use. I
love what you just said. The lessons you got from it were great.
Were great.
The tools, everybody, I hope that you heard that. It's not to us, it's for us. It was great.
It's for us. It was great. The lesson I got. The like I said, the tools, the gifts. He gave me gifts for that. Yes. You realize we're getting gifts every time we surmount these things. Yes. There's gifts that are given to us.
We get presents from the Most High.
We get presents. And that's why I said I love him so much. He takes such good care of us. I get so many.
But you're right. A lot of narcissists do have. My ex had I almost said the word, an S addiction. Yeah, I mean, same.
I'm so sorry.
Don't apologize.
We're talking, and I'm seeing something that is really disturbing to me.
22 on the clock when you said that. What's disturbing?
Wow. Do you see that? It's like it's like the devil can't help himself for what we're talking about. And I am watching a whole argument take place outside my house.
Okay. Oh my gosh. And this just came through last night. So I got a download about narcissists. We're going to go back and talk about that. So devil, sorry, not today. Bye. Bye. So if you think about it, they're not in touch with their soul. I mean, they're very heartless. They're very cold, right?
Oh my gosh! Oh my! You just said a word. What you just said. They are so cold. I heard everything you said. Yeah. And that is so true, because my ex didn't have. When I said, like, do you realize that the way you say things are so heartless? You have no emotion behind anything. None. I don't feel that. None. You will tell me that you love me, and you're so passionate when it comes to the love making. When it really comes down to that emotion outside of the bedroom, where is it?
Yeah.
And that's where I really realized that something's wrong with you, because you don't know how to show it. The only way you know how to do it is through relations.
It's sexual. I can say that. Sexual relations. Yeah. I'll say it. Just gonna say it.
No, but seriously, this man, this is what I dealt with.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And there was one before him, same thing. And the difference is I see him, his soul, he really does. He just wants to hide it and veil it. He was different in that we were still able to connect. I was able to get to him in a way where the friendship, we still had a friendship that lasted right up until this year. And someone said something to me that was powerful, and I saw that. Like, when you are the narcissist, when they are in that energy, sometimes they don't even know they're so deep in it. Yeah. But if you're that best supply, it can take years. And this is someone I hadn't connected with on any level, physically or any other way. We just would talk every now and then. But I hadn't seen him in years physically, and he circled right back at the beginning of this year. Helped me close out a cycle to let me know that I'm not that woman from 20 years, because we met over 20 years ago. And I was like, listen, that Tamika's not here. She's evolved way past that. And I know energetically he felt it. When he talked to me on FaceTime, he saw it. He kept talking. He kept looking at me, and it's that look that I tell my son that I get, the unicorn look that he gets it too. Where people look at
it. That's what it is. It's the unicorn look.
As a matter of fact, I'm going to coin that. It's the unicorn effect.
It is.
The unicorn effect that happens in there when you've gotten into your light, into your divinity, and it's, and they're looking, I just, like that light, that moth to that flame. I just got to go to that flame, to that light.
We get that too, me and Ryan. Yeah,
it's your light, and then when they get up on it, and they're burned because they haven't realized, you're not ready for that light. Mm-hmm. You're trying to touch it, grab it, own it. You weren't ready for that. Mm-hmm. You weren't ready for that, and then they get burned because and the burning comes from what? That boundary that you just said that you can't let them cross. Mm-hmm. Then that's that silver dagger, like the vampires or a werewolf. No, you tried to go beyond the limit. See, this is that line. This is everything is in the NDA that you're going to sign. Here's the contract.
That's right.
And these are the boundaries that will be enforced from here on out if you want to be in Tamika's energy.
Yeah, and if they don't abide by it, then they're removed. Our guides, and the Most High, make sure of it one way or another. They
absolutely do. Like when I say it's so powerful in that, it's all I can say is this is why I said that disclaimer in the beginning, and I said that do it at your own risk, because my team does not F around.
Yeah,
they don't F around. They don't F around. So I at the end of the day, baby, if you want to go ahead and piss them off, and go ahead and jump over those boundaries, sending your evil eye and your dark magic and all this, go ahead.
Go ahead, because it's not affecting us. It's going directly to things
it's being recorded.
I mean, the things that are watching over us and protecting us, they're the ones that are watching it. They're like, okay, now we're going to handle this.
Now we're going to and I see we're aware of it, so we know when to step aside. Like you said, we don't get in the way of that karmic anymore. I'm going to step right on to the side. There you go.
Nope. You know what I got a download about too, Tamika, was like, this is the year of karma, right?
Yes.
Okay, think about it. We're almost entering 2025. The number 9, which is completions.
I saw 999. I keep telling you, I see the synchronicities on plates, license plates specifically.
Right.
My son is the witness. I said, Kenny, what did you see? He's like, that said 999. And I said, that's completion. That's closing out a cycle.
You know what's kind of crazy? Okay, think about all the shifts that are happening, that people are having to close out these cycles. As difficult as they are, we are approaching the end of this karmic 8-year.
Yes.
It's like the Most High and our guides want us to end it, close it, allow the karma, allow the endings for these new beginnings to come in.
It's
transitioning.
And you know how I know that? I know I closed one out successfully, and I told you I've had so many tower moments. My kids we have been dealing with back to back, and it's not our energies, the people around us attacking or either trying to come to us and want us to save them from these towers. And I told my daughter,
and that's why we have to let it go.
We can't do it.
Exactly.
We can't do it. We cannot do it. We are not allowed. Hear me now. If you all do not take heed and get in the way of this,
step aside.
The residual, it's like shooting that gun. And that gunpowder, that blowback of it coming back to you. Right. I don't want that.
We have to step aside.
Too hard. I worked too hard to get here. And Molly, you know what I'm talking about. Just on the narcissist topic, what we've had to go through.
Yeah, it's very important that people step aside and allow the karmic justice and judgment and everything to take place. Very important.
It is important. But trust and believe me and my team, I am clear on that. Roger that.
I am too. I'm like moving aside. Yep.
we're going to step aside here and let you all handle what you need to handle. They were warned. And that's where we talk about that. They get the warnings. We're being called to go where we're really needed, where people are ready to receive it. Those of you that didn't, you made choices. The free will is there.
Yeah.
Stand by your choice. Stand on that.
You can't escape karma, good or bad. You can't escape it. Yeah.
You can't. It is inescapable. That's beautifully said. There's no way. We are seeing that play out in the world. He is ending this year with a bang, literally.
Did you hear that one reading I did? All I kept hearing, and not bang, but all I kept seeing was boom. I was like, why do you guys keep telling me boom? It was going to be big. It was cracking me up, Timeca. It was so funny.
Because I told you your hand movements. I said this yesterday.
If you could have seen my face.
I said this yesterday. I did. And I'm like, okay, you know what? Because I told you that's me. And my thing, you said boom, and I'm like, damn. That's what
That's all they kept telling me. I'm like, stop telling me boom, because now I'm channeling, and all I'm saying is boom. Come on. Give me another word. They're like, no, Molly, because it's going to be a boom.
Because you did say that in the reading. Do you realize, like, why do I keep saying You really did say it. I definitely was. And I'm like, what? The quirky humor, I get those things that other people don't pick up. That's how you know when you have connected to your true soulmate. Because I'm like, I get that because I do those same little ticks and things that I know that are quirky. And people are looking like, I'm like, I know, my team knows what the hell I'm talking about, okay?
Oh my
they know
gosh. Yeah, it was so funny.
Seriously, that's those things. Like, you have those little things. I talk about this all the time, and you just made me think about him and Scott, my friend Scott, who I hope he, if you're listening, love you so much, babe. When we get in front of each other, this is it. This is what, when I say what you and I are doing is how I know now you are part of my tribe. We do this in front of each other. And he'll tell me, this only happens when I'm in front of you. I only do this stuff when I'm in front of you. Or I only say that when I'm in front of you. I seriously, for real, I caught that. And when you just reminded me that I wanted to tell you that I did see you, like, why do I keep saying
People are going to be like, what did they do?
Okay. We have to go back to Earth.
We gotta stop. We gotta come back.
We have to come back to Earth. Father have mercy. Thank you. Because humor is, I told my daughter, this is what we are doing. My son and I, my daughter and I, we, as a collective whole, we're not saying we will do the goofiest, laughing, the hardest. And she's pulling up right now. So I know with all these distractions, I have to wrap it up. But I can't tell you enough like that. I'm so glad you brought that up, and that was a great way to end this because I did hear you say that, and I was giggling to myself because I watched all your readings, and that was the first one where I've seen you do that. Boom and boom, and I'm like,
that's all they kept saying. I was channeling it, and I was like, "Really, guys? Are we gonna keep going?" They're like, "Make it clear. It's happening." I think it's clear. Stop, because that's all you're telling me. It just keeps coming. I'm the vessel. It keeps coming. It was like out of my mouth. I could not stop it.
Okay.
I know. We're coming back to Earth.
My daughter is just walked in, right? And she is the witness when I'm like, bam. Bam. And we all, each one of us has our colloquialism that we use. And, so for you to just bring that up when you're like, yeah, I just read it and I kept, boom. And then I saw your hand and I could really see your face in my mind. Like, why do you guys keep that?
I think they got it. They're like, no, they don't. They really need to hear it.
Oh my God! Please bear with us. I promise we're gonna actually close this out.
We are closing it. Okay. Woo. All right, guys. All right, Timeca, do you have any guidance you want to leave with anyone? But wow.
Listen, the advice I want to send so much love, light, peace for all of you affected by Helene and for the incoming storm with Milton. We are with you in this. I actually had planned on doing some volunteering. I don't know how and what way that I can be of service, but just know that our hearts, prayers, mine personally, are with you. I send you all so much good energy and love and light. If this can get you all through this very hard time that will pass, we will overcome. We will. And when I say we, is to let you all know you are not in this alone. Mm-hmm. And that's even beyond this storm, the storms of your personal lives, the storms that you may be facing of, well, how am I going to pay my rent? How am I going to make this bill? How am I going to get to work? The Most High has you. I promise you, He will not come to you and leave you void. He will not leave you empty. And neither will a divine collective. We won't either.
Amen.
We're right there with you.
Yep.
And I'm sending you all so much love, Molly. I thank you. I love you, seriously.
I love you too. I love you too. Oh God, here we go.
This has been an amazing conversation and just amazing on all levels. The conversation we had yesterday, amazing. The ones to come, and you guys, if she'll have me back, I will be back. I really will.
Of course, you know you're coming back.
I do.
You know you are. Stop it.
But I do, and I want to send so much love. Ryan, hug Moon for me, and just have an amazing rest of your day, you guys.
Oh,
peace, love, and blessings to everybody.
Oh, and we're sending you so much love too, and your entire beautiful family, and blessings and peace. Oh my gosh, I'm so grateful for you and for you coming on.
I'm grateful for you too. Yeah. I am. I'm really honored, and I will see you guys on the next one.
All right, guys, thank you so much for joining us on this incredible podcast with Timeca Davis. We are sending you so much love, positive energy, prayers, and always pray that you're surrounded by the Most High God's love, protection, and blessings. All right, bye, guys.